What up guys, it's your boy the Broken Wolf. I'm just going to do a video on some of the best features of the Mate 40 Pro. I'm going to start off with the screen. The screen is 6.7 inch, 6.76 inches. It's an OLED Horizon display. It's got a resolution that maxes out at 1344 by 2772 pixels, and it's got a 90 hertz refresh rate. So if you go to the settings and you go to display and brightness and go to screen resolution here, you can see that that's the highest, and you can switch to the lowest if you want, or you can use the smart resolution where the phone will automatically, like, you know, lower the resolution to save power. I'm guessing when you've got low power, and also the refresh rate. So you've got 90 hertz, which is the highest, and you've got 60 hertz, which is will most likely be going to be used to, you know, save power when you're low on battery. But the smoothest you're going to get is on 90 hertz. Another thing that I wanted to mention is the phone has a 240 hertz touch sampling rate, so it's like very responsive. So I mean, this doesn't do justice to it, but it's very responsive, as you can see. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so just like last year, it still has the waterfall display, as you can see. You can see how it just rolls off the edge, just like last year, where you had the Mate 30 Pro, and you can see they both roll off. So they both still have the waterfall display, and Huawei put it back into the Mate 40 Pro, which is awesome. Okay, what else was I gonna say? You've still got the edge-to-edge 88-degree display, making the corners very smooth and rounded, and it helps keep your phone intact and very comfortable to hold. I'd say probably the same with the Mate 30 Pro as well, but I mean the corners here are more sharper. These corners, actually, I don't even know, you know. Yeah, I would say, yeah, more smoother to hold. In the last video I did, I weighed them out, and yeah, the Mate 40 Pro is heavier than the Mate 30 Pro, and it's thicker as well, a little bit, Joe. It's just not so thick, but let me turn them off. But it's just a little bit more thicker than last year's, and also the screen is bigger. So if I turn that on and I put it on top, you can still see the edge. So the Mate 40 Pro is bigger and wider. Okay, so just like last year, we still have an IP68 rating for dust water resistance, and so you don't have to worry about, you know, rain or splashes or dust that might get into the crevices of the phone because they're sealed tight. Front and back built with glass, and you've got the aluminium frame, right, which is just like last year's, right? Aluminium frame, front and back glass. Okay, so this year we've got the power button and the two volume buttons that we can use. Unlike last year, we just had the power button, right? So we've got the volume button. So not only that, they also have the virtual buttons. So if you don't, let me unlock it. Oh god. Okay, so you can either use the power buttons, the volume buttons to increase the volume, or you can just use the virtual buttons. And I think that works on both sides. Come on. Which is awesome. No headphone jack like last year. You've got speaker at the top, stereo speaker at the bottom as well. I mean the top, sorry, bottom and top. So good sound quality. Okay, so this year we've got the cutout top left, like a pill shape, whereas last year was at the center of the screen. So I mean, I know some people don't like the cutout. So what you can do, you can go to display, you can go to more display settings, and then you go to cutout, and you can cut it out, or you can leave it on depending on what you want to do really. So I mean, I don't mind the cutout, so I'll just leave it on. And yeah. Oh, one more thing. There's the edge display, right? So what you can do is go to more display settings, and then you've got the edge. Now what you can do is, like, some apps will take away the edge, and other apps you won't. So for instance, right now you can see it's the app, I'm using the phone, right, on the settings, and you can see it's going all the way to the edge. But here you see where it says Antutu benchmark, I've turned it off, turn it on, turn it off. And if I go to Antutu, right, and I click Antutu, you can see that it doesn't use the whole edge. It just, and then if I go off, you can see how it goes back. It uses the rest of the edge, and that's mostly because accidental touches and stuff like that. So if you, I mean, I haven't had any issues with accidental touches, but I don't think it's a main issue. I mean, it could be an issue for some people, I don't know. But so, like, you can see here, it's using the full width, and if I go to Antutu, you can see it doesn't use the full width. You see that? See that gap it closes down on? Okay, moving. Okay, so this year they have the cutout, and they've got a 13 megapixel camera in there, and it also has a what is it? A wide angle. So if I flip it over, you can see my hair and my head, and you can go to the wide mode. And when you go to the wide mode, right, you can, like, if you're taking a selfie with, like, friends and stuff, you can get everyone's face and focus in on everyone's face, which is an added feature that they included in this year's model. Okay, so last year they had air gestures on the Mate 30 Pro, right? So you could, like, put your hands, wait, let me unlock it, and you could put your hands up, and then you can do that, take a snapshot, and but you couldn't go left or right. The sensor wouldn't sense it, but it sensed up and it sensed down. So if let me go, oh crap, let me go to the settings, right? So you do this, and then you could go up, and then you could go, come on, right? Okay, yeah, so there you go, you see that. So this year they have both of those left, right? This year you have obviously, let me go to settings, and it's okay. So you still have, let's see, okay, got the back hand, and you got the front hand, and also you've got left, and you've got right, and also you still have the snapshot, which they still had in the previous model, and also you still can take snapshots with a double knock, and they still have the two knuckle knocker to record the screen. You see that on the top left. So yeah, okay, so this year, and I'm pretty sure last year, they have the wireless charging. So you go to settings, battery, reverse wireless charging. Wait, what does it say? What does it say? Wireless reverse charging. Turn it on, turn it off, and you can charge your phone. And I'm pretty sure you can do it with the Buds Pro. And also I used my Samsung S10, and it also worked. So it charged other phones other than Huawei brands, which is awesome. Okay, you still have the facial recognition. Where's my face? Where's my face? Yeah, facial recognition, and it's 3D facial. It's three. It's the unlocking feature, right? 3D facial unlocking feature, but it's fast and what was I gonna say? It works well in the dark and and in obviously light, and also you've still got the in display fingerprint scanner, which is super fast. Let me just demonstrate. So that last year's one is pretty fast as well. I didn't even install it on that one, but yeah, still got all the features from last year. One more thing about the Mate 40 Pro, they have this new application called Petal Search, and as you can see, it says Petal on the top right. And what this does is it's like a browser, but at the same time, like it does your usual stuff like search for images, videos, news. It uses Bing's search engine by default, but what it also does is let's say you wanted to download YouTube, but obviously Google services they're banned from. I mean, Huawei's banned from using that on the devices, right? So if you type in YouTube, right, and just click on YouTube, it has like obviously what Huawei does is like it opens up a browser and it makes you go to youtube.com. So if I press go, it will just go to youtube.com. But you can also like it finds you the unofficial sources. So like to install the APK to install YouTube, Google, all those other apps that you want to install that you can't get access to without Google services. So WhatsApp and other existing apps. So this is pretty cool because you don't have to go to the original website. You just have to go on Petal Search, and then you can just type in whatever you're looking for, and instead of navigating to the outside sources, Petal Search just brings it to you. So you could just type in install or whatever, and then you're all set to go. Another feature on the Mate 40 Pro is the multi-window feature, and to use it, you'd drag on the left or the right, and you wait for this bar to come up, and now you would pick the applications that you want to use. So let's say you want to use the browser, you drag it there, you pull out the bar again. Let's say you want to see what's in your gallery. So it splits the screen. So now you have two applications, and now you can have a third. So what you would do, let's say you want to use the calculator, and now you've got 3 different windows, and you can drag this around, and then use the other 2 windows. Bring this back up, and let's see what else you can do. Let's see if you can get a fourth. Well, no, you can't get. Actually, you can, but then the calculator will just go to the corner, and then you can switch with that. So that's a impressive, very impressive multi-window feature. Okay, I haven't spoken about the battery. The battery has 4,400 milliamps, and obviously it's not much, but when you factor in that it's not 120 hertz like a Samsung S20 or the OnePlus 8, and it maxes out at 90 hertz, that kind of saves the battery. So so when I've used the phone, right, and I've used it for a couple of days now, it's after using it for I say by the end of the day it's about 40-50%. But then again, the phone's brand new, and I haven't charged it as much as I would have in the period of like a couple of months. But I would say that 90 hertz thing, where it maxes out at 90 hertz, that saves the battery a lot. And obviously the brightness, if it's got a good amount of brightness on it, but if you keep it at a decent amount, that should save the battery's power as well. And obviously, if you what I've realized is like obviously if you use the camera with the video option or the camera option, it does drain the battery a lot more quicker than when you're using other stuff. And also when you're gaming, it uses the battery because it's using a lot of the processing power. So there's that. But the thing is, the thing that tops it is the fact that it comes with a 66-watt charger. Let me bring it over. Right, it comes in with the 66. Where does it say it? Yeah, so the 66-watt charger. So let me plug it in for you, and you can see how quick it charges itself. Okay, so I'm gonna plug it in now, and you can see how fast it charges itself. This is pretty impressive. See how fast that is. It's pretty quick. And also, in like half an hour, if you charge over half an hour, you're up like a solid amount. And because of this charger, if you have the charger with you when you're outside and stuff, you can you don't have to worry about the battery, because you'll be at least more than 50% when it comes to the battery capacity. More feature that I like about this phone, and I'm pretty sure the older models have it, like the Mate 30 Pro, but I just didn't know. So what you can do is you can go to settings and type in user, right, and then go to add new user, and then add a guest user, and then press add, and then it creates a guest user. So what you do is this is the instant where you would use this is when someone needs to use your phone, but at the same time you don't want them to go through your emails or your text messages and all your private information. So you make a guest account, switch to the guest account, and the phone just gives it a new login. So this one doesn't have a password or anything, and they can use the phone. But if you go to, like, let's say gallery, it will just be a brand new gallery. It wouldn't have your pictures. And if you want to switch out of it, you just go to that little logo here, and then you just go to owner, and it switches to the owner, and then it's got your your security measures in place, which is awesome. So this phone is expensive, right? Cost me £1,900 in the UK. This is the global version, 8 GB RAM, 256 GB storage. It's got the Kirin 9000, which is super fast. It's got the 5G integrated into the chip, which is pretty much the first chip to have it integrated inside of it. It's got the 5 nanometers, which means there's more transistors in there. There's 15.3 million or billion transistors. And as I said in the last video, the more transistors you have, the more processing power you have. And that's theoretically, but that says a lot about Huawei's work ethics, man, or whatever the hell they're trying to do. I mean, if they had Google Play, this would be the best phone in the world right now, or this year, best phone of the year. I don't know about the camera stuff because I haven't really done anything with the camera, but I'm gonna start taking some videos and stuff. But other than that, this phone is just awesome.